Welcome to the Four Listeners Program. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thanks for checking us out again this week. What up, everybody? I'm Spear. On the mics with me this week, we have the Z-Man. What's up, Z-Man?
There's an elf on the shelf, and he's sitting by himself, watching me. There's an elf in the tree, and he's sitting on his knees, watching me.
That's creepy, bro.
The creepier part is that I think I stole it from a 6-year-old who made it up himself.
That's double creepy right there. On the other mic is the mighty Ganthor. What's up, Ganthor?
Yeah, I'm a little creeped out.
A little creeped out, right?
Sounds like a pedophile.
Yeah, a little bit. To start off, fantasy football update, playoffs.
Hey, who's in the playoffs?
That would be me and you.
What happened to Corey?
Didn't quite make the cut.
Aww. What, you had to make top 6 out of 10 teams? You couldn't even make the top 6 out of 10 teams?
I have no comment.
All right. This week, something must be done about Elf on the motherfucking shelf. What the fuck is that about? Ganthor, do you have one of these things, Ganthor?
Hell yeah. It's the only way I can control my kids.
Can you explain to anybody who's listening right now who does not know what Elf on a Shelf is?
It's a pretty much a non-scary boogeyman that you threaten your kids with if they're doing something you don't like. But what it looks like a creepy child molester doll that you just position around the house.
And the idea behind it, correct me if I'm wrong, Ganthor, the idea behind it is there's a book that comes along with it, right? And you read the book to your kid when you first put the elf on the shelf at the beginning of the Christmas season. And you explain that the elf has magic, and that every night the elf goes back to Santa's house there in the North Pole and reports back on everything you did during the day. And that's how Santa figures out what list you're on, whether you've been on the naughty list or the nice list.
That is correct, sir.
Right, and then the elf comes back, and it's usually in some other place because of elf magic or elf mischief.
Yeah. So what's your problem with it?
My problem with it is that it's fucking sadistic.
How is it sadistic?
Because you're torturing your children. You're having your children live in fear of a creepy ass elf doll that's sitting somewhere in your house.
Maybe if you have wuss children.
You know what? Fuck your mom, Ganthor, okay? It's creepy. It's creepy and you know it. That fucking elf is sitting there watching you, always watching you. I mean, just listen to the fucking creepy-ass song that Z just sang.
Well, so that's what makes it creepy. But if you take that song out of the equation, I've seen way creepier dolls elsewhere. Dolls that I'm actually afraid of. That elf on the shelf is nothing.
So here's the thing, right? You're basically using the elf on the shelf as a threat to say be good or you won't get any Christmas presents. That's the nut of it, right?
Yeah, shit. I told you that's the only way I can get him to listen to me.
You can beat them.
There you go.
That gets you sent to jail.
So creepy pedophilistic dolls on your shelf they're okay?
Is that a serious question?
I don't know. No, not really.
So Ganthor, you're okay. You're okay with just threatening your children rather than trying to, get them to behave normally?
Yes.
You're relying on a fucking creepy ass doll to guilt your kids into being, on good behavior throughout the Christmas season. What do you do for the other 11 months of the year?
Hold on. To be fair on this, Corey's just taking advantage of a well-known story to get his kids to be good things.
Fine.
He didn't start the story.
But fine. What do you do in the other 11 months of the year?
I don't know, Spear. If I had an answer to that, I probably wouldn't need Elf on the Shelf now.
So here's the other thing about the Elf on the Shelf. It has to you have to move it every night, right? That's part of the elf magic, right? Part of the elf magic is to move.
You're supposed to.
To reposition it. So you have to find some interesting place to put it. And then there's like a little hide and seek game that comes. Is that pretty much how it works?
No, we don't do that.
How do you deal with that? I mean, is it always in place?
Just point it out.
You just point it out. So there's no game that you play there?
If they act up, yeah, I just say Elf on the Shelf's watching you. And then sometimes if they can't find it, they'll ask where he is, and then I'll point him out.
Do you find yourself doing it with the Elf on the Shelf is watching you? Do you do it?
No, Michelle doesn't let me do that.
But you would, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
See? That you don't think that
I also tell my kids I'm going to eat their legs.
I do that too. I every time my kid like he bangs his leg or he stubs his toe or something like that, he starts crying about it. I said, "Oh, you want me to cut it off?"
Yeah, see? You tell me that it's normal, that won't traumatize your kid.
Yeah, I got none of these problems.
These are fun problems to have, though. I'll say that much. Do you want me to cut off your leg? No, I don't want my leg.
It's even funnier if you pretend to eat it, because while when they're not looking, you can do the wide open shark mouth and just slowly move in.
Yeah, and then you go,
And then
no,
they
no,
see
no.
you, and then they freak out.
That's right.
No, Daddy, don't eat my
No,
leg.
eat
And
my
then you say,
leg.
all right, I won't. And then you do it again 10 seconds later. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and then I get, I'm a little boy, not food.
Yeah.
What happens when you forget to move the elf?
That's happened a few times. Luckily, they're kids, and they don't have that stringing together memory and rules and explanations doesn't really work that well. So you just kind of, they'll forget about it.
They don't freak out at all. I mean,
No.
the whole thing is about the magic of the elf moving. Oh my God, he
No.
didn't go tell Santa whether or not I was good, and they don't freak out about it.
No, you don't have to do that. You just say he's going to tell Santa, and that's all you need.
And I think you're missing an opportunity there, right? I think you could get into like the guilt trip thing. Well, he didn't go anywhere because he didn't want to have to tell Santa that you hit your sister or were mean to mommy or something like that. You're missing an opportunity there if you want more guilt.
Yeah, because that's not going to mess him up for life.
Well, hey, look, if you're gonna go whole hog.
Did you read the story behind how this thing happened? Like with the publisher of this?
The whole the genesis of it.
Yeah, so like this chick was doing it for her own family, and then like tried to sell it to some other company, and nobody would take it. So she's like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna just make my own publishing company, and I'm gonna do it myself." 1.5 million units later.
So she just went off to just create her own Elf on the Shelf company.
Yeah, they
Nice.
came up with their own publishing company. I think they created like 300 copies of it on the first run, and they've now to date have sold over 1.5 mil
Nice. So
at $30 a pop.
1.5 million suckers have bought these stupid things, and they spawn. What's interesting about it is that they spawn all kinds of like message boards, Facebook. I don't know if you guys have them on your news feed, but my news feed is littered with people who are posting pictures from either Instagram or from wherever of where their little elves on the shelves are.
Mm-hmm. I see that shit.
And it's like, oh, here's the elf on the shelf, hiding behind the couch. Here's the elf on the shelf, hiding in the freezer because it's from the North Pole and it's cold and he likes the cold. And I'm like,
You got some dumb friends.
yeah. Here's the elf on the shelf hiding on a fan.
Oh, I saw that one. That was because we have the same friend.
Yeah. the one I'm sure you saw, Z, was here's the elf on a shelf on a zip line.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, elf on a shelf on a zip line. And the one other thing that people like to do with the elf on the shelf is they like to create like the whole mischief thing. They like to create like the elf creates little scenarios for the family to do together. Like the one family I know of has the elf on the shelf create a mess every night. That every morning they have to clean up together as a family.
That doesn't sound that bad.
No, it's fucking ridiculous, Z, because if you're a parent, you spend your entire day cleaning up messes while your child is running around the house systematically destroying it. Your whole job is to pick up after the kid, and so that you finally get the house back in order. You get the kid in bed, and then what do? You spend time creating another mess on purpose? Ganthor, do you create any of this mischief?
No, shit, no.
No.
I'm telling you, it's like a paddle, except it doesn't traumatize.
As much as you would think.
True.
I mean, there's gonna be a whole generation of kids growing up freaked out that there's some dude watching them on the shelf.
Yep.
Dude, you're ridiculous.
I'm not
Dude,
ridiculous.
This is fucking Orwellian shit. It's like right out of 1984.
Yeah.
Big Brother is watching.
That's right. The elf on the shelf is
You
watching
guys
you.
are morons.
The elf on the shelf is watching you, Ganthor.
If you told them in general that some flying spaghetti monster is watching them all the time, no matter what, and it's judging them for everything they do.
Well, that's what essentially is what's happening. They're going to report back to
No.
some fat jolly dude in the North Pole.
Yeah, only while they believe in Santa Claus. Then once they find out Santa Claus is not real, all that stuff goes away. Unlike Jeebus and Flying Spaghetti Monster and stuff.
I don't know.
Tell me I'm wrong.
This sounds traumatic.
It sounds dramatic. I mean, there are going to be psychiatrists that will make a cottage industry out of dealing with kids that have been traumatized by Elf on a motherfucking Shelf. I'm convinced of this.
I strenuously object.
Oh, is that how it works? You strenuously object. Objection overruled. No. I strenuously
object. Like, for real.
Here's the other thing that I find traumatizing. You know, as long as we're on the topic, taking your kid to go see Santa Claus.
That creeps me out even now, just thinking about what you're going to say.
So the first part of it is squarely focused on the children, right? I mean, it may be that I'm a little bit of a germaphobe, but with all the children that sit on Santa's lap, Santa becomes a cesspool of viruses and bacteria.
Do you do this? Do you take a boy over?
No, I won't let him within 30 leagues of a fucking Santa Claus.
So, like, what if they had, like, Sandy seats for Santas?
You walk up to Santa Claus, you pull out the little wax paper before you sit on Santa's lap.
That would be hilarious.
Little wax papers. I never understood that either, by the way. Right?
How that's going to save you? Yeah, from like shit jumping up on your balls? Yeah.
Never understood that either. How a little thin piece of wax paper is going to save you from the bacteria or whatever that's potentially been festering in a toilet bowl, a public one, you know? No, I never understood that. But all right, so I don't think the Sandy seat for the Santa's lap is going to work either.
It would be really funny, though, to see someone do it.
Oh, it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious. Maybe there's something. Maybe there's an idea we can market.
And I mean, the name is already there. Santa seat.
Santa seat, yeah. Maybe there's an idea that maybe we can market it. But I don't get. Like, I mean, maybe it's because I'm a germaphobe. I don't know, Corey. Do you have any kind of like, oh God, how long has this Santa been there kind of thing? Like, do you want to hit that Santa Claus as early in the day as possible?
No, I don't know.
Do you take your kids to see him?
Yeah, I remember them going to 2, maybe 3.
And were your kids at all frightened by Santa?
Yeah. When we took my oldest the first time, we sat her on the lap. She had a horrified look on her face. Like, what did you just do to me? Why am I sitting on this thing?
Yeah. Who is this guy, and why am I sitting on his lap? I don't know. I have seen countless pictures of, and people send these things as Christmas cards, by the way, which I find hilarious. Countless pictures of kids sitting on Santa's lap, screaming their eyes out,
like bloody murder, yeah,
screaming like bloody murder, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. And people send these things as Christmas cards. Oh, look how cute! My kid's terrified. Yay! What the fuck is that about? And you could just see that you could just feel the person on the other side of the camera who's just sitting there going, and now everybody say Merry Christmas, click.
All my knowledge on this topic comes from the Christmas Story movie. Ralphie.
Oh, refresh my memory.
Ralphie and the little brother, and he goes down that big slide, and like he forgets to tell Santa that he wants the Red Rifle BB gun.
Red Ryder,
excuse me. And then Santa's like, no, kid, you'll shoot your eye out. And he takes his big black boot and stomps on his head and pushes him down the slide.
There you go.
Well, just imagine how many little kids pooped in pants or peed their pants or whatever and sat on his lap.
Or depending on which Santa you're seeing, how many times he's pooped on his own lap.
Right.
In his pants.
Right. And you got to know that Santa costume doesn't get washed daily, if it's washed at all.
Ever.
Here's the flip side of the Santa thing. How desperate do you have to be to take a job as a Santa Claus?
Well, it depends if you have a really good beard.
Why does that depend?
Like, I've seen some mall Santas that they probably grow that shit with the intention of being a mall Santa.
Probably.
So it's not like they're like, this is like their last-ditch effort of trying to get work. This is what they do.
Why do you think they like doing it, Z?
Because they probably look like Santa. So everyone's like, oh, you look like Santa. You should be a mall Santa. And they're like, all right, that's cool.
Do you think the pay is worthy enough to, grow a beard all season and then be a mall Santa?
Probably not, but I don't know. These are retired guys here.
Yeah, I'm driving something here. I mean, my thing is, look, if you're going to have hundreds of kids sitting on your lap, and we know that kids are just festering piles of disease, just walking piles of disease. If hundreds of kids are going to sit on your lap, breathing in your face the entire time, why would you want to get paid maybe $20 an hour? $15, $20 an hour to do
Dude,
this?
I'm looking at this right now on AskVille, anywhere from 100 to 200 an hour if you have a real beard and real gut.
All right. So if you are old and overweight, you can get paid $150 to $200 an hour to have kids breathe on you throughout the day. Why would you do that?
If Santa works 40 days during the holiday season, he can ring in the New Year's with $8,000 to $10,000 in total wages.
And that's worth the potential gathering of the plague that you expose yourself to?
Maybe.
I don't know, man. To me, there's only two reasons to take on a Santa job. Either you're desperate for a job, or you're a pedophile. There's no in between.
Maybe they just want to spread holiday cheer, dude.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
And why do you guys hate Christmas?
I don't hate Christmas.
I don't hate Christmas.
You sound like you hate Christmas.
I don't hate Christmas, man.
You hate the elf, you hate this, you hate Santa.
I like a
Blah,
Christmas.
blah,
I
blah.
like a Christmas story when fucking Santa at the mall gets curb stomped.
Were you Jewish?
No, I love Christmas. I love the tree.
You Muslim?
I love what?
Trying to figure out why you hate America.
I don't hate America. I don't hate Christmas. I just
I'll let
think
our listeners be the judge of that.
oh, that's fine. I just think there are certain traditions, certain things that we do to our kids that are just flat out wrong. Tormenting our children to get them to behave during the Christmas season, I don't get. And here's the other thing. At the King of Prussia Mall near me, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, home to the second largest shopping mall in the United States.
Second to who?
To the Mall of America in Minneapolis,
Then
Minnesota.
you're not second because the one in Syracuse is now the largest.
Is it?
Yeah, Destination USA is now the largest.
How about that? All right, so we're third then, right? Third in the country. Whatever. It's a big fucking mall. All right? Big enough that it has not one, not two, but 3 Santas.
Located strategically in different parts of the mall.
But in different parts of the mall. If you're walking around the mall with your kid Christmas shopping, you're more than likely going to run across all 3 Santas. How do you explain that to your kids?
The same way you explain how Mickey Mouse is like in different costumes in 9 different parts of the park.
No, but see, Disney doesn't do that.
Yeah, they do.
No, Disney only has one character, one version of a character running around the park at a time.
Get out.
That's right. Because they don't want to blow that illusion. So how do you explain that to your kids? Look, Santa was right over there just a minute ago. He was right in front of the JCPenney. How the hell did he end up over here?
In another house that looks just like his other house.
Right.
Magic of elves.
Yeah, right. Santa's magical. Santa can exist in multiple phase spaces, little boy.
Wrap that around your brain.
That's right. Oh, a little quantum physics for your Christmas season, fucker. At some point, you're diluting the magic of Santa
Yeah.
Claus. At some point,
I can't stand all the stupid Santas in commercials now. That Mercedes-Benz Santa.
Yep.
Shoot him in his fat face.
Yep. Yeah, at some point you gotta just admit to your kids that's not Santa Claus. That's a guy dressed up as Santa Claus. That's not really a magical elf. It's just a creepy ass doll sitting up on someone's mantle. You don't have to be afraid of that. In fact, give it to me. I'm gonna urinate on it and then light it on fire.
How are you going to light a wet doll on fire?
Fine, I'll light it on fire and then urinate on it.
All right.
How about that?
Just trying to save you some frustration. That's all.
And I'll drink a good amount of alcohol beforehand. Maybe I'll get some pyrotechnics. You want some holiday fun? Here we go, son. Daddy's gonna get tanked and then he's gonna light the elf on the shelf on fire.
I would actually enjoy watching you do that.
What? Get tanked or light the thing on fire?
Both. Can't say that I've ever seen you tanked.
I have.
You sound like that's a repressed memory, Z.
Oh,
he's funny. He's a funny drunk.
I've seen him drunk too. Okay, so it's what's fair is fair.
Yeah, we're not we're not the beat people up mean people. We're like the ones that like we get silly, we do stupid things, and then we fall asleep.
Yeah.
See, I could see you being that way, Z, but Spear I kind of assume would like that angry, depressive drunk.
No, I'm a fun drunk.
Well, why don't you ever get drunk?
Because he has to drive home and shit.
Yeah.
Your wife lives a mile away. She'd come pick. Worst case, you could walk home.
That's a hard call to make, bro.
It's not a hard call to make. You just
It's
tell your
a
wife ahead of
mile.
time that I'm going to get bombed. Can you come pick me up?
Can you drive a mile to come pick me up?
Yeah, with my
Sweetheart.
kid in tow in the back seat. Why are we going to get Daddy? Because your daddy's a staggering alcoholic.
Well, you don't have to tell your kid that.
I'm
Daddy
all
smells funny.
If we've established anything through this whole show, it's about honesty with my child. Okay.
How did Daddy get sick, Mommy?
All right. What did we learn? What did we learn about? What did we learn about the Elf on the Shelf? What did we learn about things we do to our kids during the holiday season? What did we learn, Z?
Well, I was going to say we learned that it maybe a career opportunity is to become a mall Santa.
Yeah, if you like the idea of being exposed to viruses and disease pretty much all day, every day,
It's not bad work if you can get it.
there you go. As long as you're overweight and can grow a long white beard.
Help with your healthcare costs for diabetes care you're going to need.
Yeah, and hopefully your health care is good. And, if you get anything, you don't die. Ganthor, what did you learn?
That you hate America
I don't hate America.
and freedom.
I don't hate freedom, and I don't hate Christmas.
Your words speak for themselves, sir.
Fair enough. I learned that Ganthor is a bad parent, and that he's willing to
Hey,
guilt his kids into behaving by using this elf on a shelf. Defend thyself, Ganthor.
I use whatever works.
There you go. So if you use whatever works, why don't you go ahead and post it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/4listeners or 4listeners.com. Check out the show on Stitcher Radio or on the iTunes. Just search for 4 Listeners and we'll pop right on up. We thank you for checking us out this week, and we hope that your little elf will allow you to check us out again next week. Thanks a bunch, everybody.
That sounded really dirty.
I know.
The elf on the shelf is